Okay. Okay. Let me share my screen and give you a picture of what we are going to do in this session. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So in this session, like first of all, why did we plan for this webinar thing? So actually, we have been getting many requests from people, like followers, asking for the procedure to set up the lab and create the cluster environment on their own. Many people are able to create the servers, but they are not able to set up the end-to-end complete cluster infrastructure, which is something there in the YouTube as well. So we did share the links, but still people were asking about one video where end-to-end setup is implemented. So that is the reason we are planning this webinar. And in the future sessions, based on your further feedback, we'll be adding, for a few more webinars as well. So this webinar is focusing on the like infrastructure part. So in general, what we are using in as a soft Mania in our trainings or in our projects, usually what we use is this infrastructure. This is actually a searched cluster, indexed cluster with the 3 nodes each, and we have management component. So this is the base infrastructure we start. So we decided to explain the procedure. We decided to explain the procedure to set up this environment itself, which is something we are using in our day-to-day trainings. So we are going to create 12 servers. 13 servers. In that, we are going to have searched cluster with the 3 searchers, indexed cluster with the 3 indexers, of course, with a cluster manager and deployer being the management components. Along with that, we are going to have a license server, monitoring console, and deployment server. And instead of this universal forwarder, we are planning to have an intermediate heavy forwarder. That is what most organizations do have. So we will create this setup. We have pre-installed, Splunk instance, because Splunk in all the 13 instance, because that will take time, right? So for Splunk installation, we have another video. We'll share it with you. That is there in the YouTube. You can watch that. How to install Splunk on all the 13 servers. You can watch that. So in this demo, we are going to focus only on configuring the cluster, the complete cluster. Okay. And these are the data, which you can onboard in this infrastructure. If you want in the data onboarding videos in the upcoming webinars, please do put it in this comments so that we will take it. We'll just check which one is the interested one, because giving all of them is not going to be possible because there are some cost incurred on it. So whatever is feasible, we will add it in the future webinars. Please put your comments in this Q&A chat, I believe. I hope everyone is able to access the Q&A section. So put it there. If not, you can just reach out to us over WhatsApp and you can share your topics on which you want us to conduct the future webinars. Okay. Anybody wants to ask anything or say anything before we start the demo? No? Was it audible? First of all, sorry. Was it audible?
Murugan, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I'm not
You can go ahead.
Okay, man. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Let me stop sharing my screen. Ramani, would you like to share your screen?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second, please. Give me 1
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, is my screen visible?
It's coming up. Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great. Okay, then let's start configuring our cluster. So first of all, let's focus on the license manager. So we are going to configure the license manager first of all. So here I'm using a management server, which is going to act as a both license manager and then monitoring console. Okay, so I'm going to configure both in the same server. So let me just log into it. Okay, this is indexer. So I'm going to use my developer license to install the license today. You can follow the same with the production license in your environment. How to install the license, right? Okay, I should increase.
Can you please zoom in a bit?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And for the people who are there, like if you don't have a developer license, you can request a new one on the portal. You can just Google Splunk developer license. That is something free. If you need to request from your splunk.com account, so you will get the license within 3 days. So that will allow you to index up to 10 GB of data per day. So you can use that to create this kind of infrastructure and all. And let me share the link as well.
Yeah. And also the documentation part, so which I'm going to use is in this link. Morgan, can you please share
Yeah,
that
yeah,
as
I'll
well?
share that one as
Yeah.
well. So we have kept all the steps needed to create this infrastructure on this one. You can follow the steps one by one.
Yeah, so we are going to follow whatever it is in the documentation. So let's start with configuring the license manager. So first of all, I'm going to install my license in the license server, right? So let me go to settings and then licensing. So I'm going to change the group to enterprise license, and then I'm going to save it. I'm choosing a file, which is my license. Yeah, now I'm going to install it. So yeah, this will ask to be restarted. So we have to restart the server. Yeah, so if this issue comes, you can click on the clear restart message and then you can click on restart Splunk. It is actually a bug.
I don't know if it is bug or something because it's there for so
It is
many
so
years.
long,
No?
right? Maybe
Yeah.
they are trying to, making us recheck everything. Yeah. So in the meantime, so let it restart. Let's connect to the instances. So now our step is we have to connect all the instances with this license manager, right? So let's start with the indexes. Yeah. So I was already logged in. I just closed, right? So it got popped up. So now here as well, we are going to go to the licensing. And here we are going to make this as a peer to our license manager. So first of all, let me log into it and let's see whether it is installed or not. Again, go to settings, licensing. Yeah, you see the 10 GB license has been installed successfully. And if you want to see what are the license that is available here, you can check, click on this all license details. So here you can see the Splunk developer license and the forwarder license, which is available in build, and then free license. So yeah, now let me go back. So from the license manager side, it is good. Now we are going to the license. Indexer. Here we are going to connect it to the license master. So let's click on this change to peer. Here we have to give the details of our license server. Okay. So we can give the public IP or you can use the private IP. For now, I'm using the private IP.
In real-time environments, your components might be in a different region.
Yeah.
So there you might have to use the DNS and all those things. But yeah, let's not discuss those things here. Yeah, here we are assuming all of the servers are in the same region and there is no firewall that much issues. But of course, if they are in a multiple regions, you need to work with your AWS team.
Right. Let's save this. I have given the management port. So again, you have to restart it. Now we have to follow this for all the servers. Bear with me, it will take some time. So we are going to do the same step, guys. So I'll just go a little faster. What happened to the server?
You can try the other one. So,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Then settings, licensing. Change to peer. And we have to designate different server. Yes, so here, what was that? Private IP. So you can check what are the indexes that got connected here. You can click on this all indexer details, and here you can see the indexer 1 has already been connected, and then indexer 3, which is getting restarted, it is also already connected, right? So that is how you can verify which servers are connected to your license manager. Plus 26, 23, right? Yeah, that's one. Let's save this. And we have to restart. Now I'm going for the search it as well.
Murugan Suresh here. Can we ask some doubts in meantime?
yeah, related to this topic, yes.
Just license only. See,
Yes, yes.
the 10 GB you got, right? Like, is it shared across all the components or like, for each component?
Yeah, so it is shared across all the components, but we can make it, constrained. We can create pools. There is something called pools. You can create it and you can connect all those components. But now Ramani is connecting, right? So now it is being shared across all the components. Now, is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm connecting to the search it too.
Just one question, like if someone wants to answer, pitch in their thoughts. So indexers are the ones which are going to store the data, right? Then why are we connecting all of the components to the license manager? Only indexers need license to store the data, right?
Yeah, about to ask the same question. Like, so for indexing only we are storing the data, then
Why are we connecting? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say the answer, but anybody wants to give it a try?
So Murugan, I believe in case of heck, so sometimes such sets also act as a index and forward when it is not enabled. So sometimes they also do index locally. So to keep in check on that, I think that's what we do.
That is one of the answer. Yeah, that can be the answer.
Not only for the storing, for searching also the license is required.
Okay, that is correct, but still you need to go further. For searching also license is needed. Yes, correct. For any other reasons? Okay. So Splunk Enterprise comes with a 60-day trial, right? So whatever you download and you install, it comes with a 60-day trial. So all other enterprise features, not only searching and indexing. So in Splunk, we have multiple features like LDAP, SAML, distributed search. Any feature you take in Splunk, everything is connected to license. So Splunk license, it's not only for indexing or searching. It is the one which gives you access to all Splunk Enterprise features. So that is the reason we are connecting all search head, monitoring console, a deployment server, deployer. All of these features does require Splunk license. So you have to connect all your components to the license manager. Then you, in order to restrict the license usage on the indexing, right? The indexing usage only to the indexer, you can create a pool and you can assign all of those indexers to the specific pool. So other components can only use the license for features, not for indexing. But as I don't know who said, sorry, I cannot see the names here. So for sometimes you use search heads to receive the heck. Sometimes you will use a index heavy forwarder to store the data and forward it. So in these cases, yes, the license need to be used in all the places. But mainly, why are we connecting all components to the license manager is to activate the enterprise features. If not, the enterprise feature will get disabled. Hope it was clear. If not, please do let me know. We can discuss. We have time till before Ramani finishes this thing. Okay, nice. Ramani, just to confirm, which version of Splunk we are using? This is latest version on 9.4.
Yeah, it's 9.4.1.
4.1. Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Mikun. Just to add on the previous query which we were discussing, sometimes whenever there is a license violation and so it seems like when we breach number of violations, the searching is stopped,
Right.
not data ingestion. So for that also we need to enable license pooling on the searches as well to tell like this is a search and this is an indexer.
So index, that's the reason. Like if you enable the pool, right, only indexers will be able to use the license. So other search, other components cannot use it. But we cannot restrict for the searching. So I'm not sure if I'm answering it correctly. But yeah, restricting only to the indexer will help us in coming out of violations sometimes. Yeah, thanks for the addition.
Two more.
Yeah.
I have a question. If we haven't reached the limit of the license, means there is a leftover data. So whether it can be reused for further? Or is it
Come again. Can you please ask your question? It was breaking. Sorry.
So, for example, you said 10 GB of data is there,
Yeah.
license limit. So, we have used only 8 GB of data, 2 GB of data is left over. So, whether we can reuse it or
No,
is there any-
this 10 GB per data quota is every day. So every day you can index 10 GB. So it's not like overall you have a 10 GB. It's like every day you can index up to 10 GB. Let's say today you are indexing only 8 GB, right? Tomorrow, like today midnight, it will reset. Tomorrow again you can index 10 more GB. So the license works every day actually.
Okay.
So hope I answered your question.
If it is 4 means it will reset for the next day.
Exactly. The 10 GB is every day. Quota is everyday quota.
Oh.
I think almost everything got connected.
Okay.
Cluster manager, management server. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, wait a second. 1 second, Morgan. I think I missed one. Yeah, deployment server. I missed it.
You missed one critical component.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, who's this? Sushil, you raised your hands, please.
Murugan, why we install Splunk mostly in Linux? Why Linux? Why not Windows?
That's a very big discussion altogether. So see, that will be like a debate actually. But to be frank, like here for demo purpose, we installed it. But yeah, some companies choose Windows, some companies choose Linux. So it's up to their company policies. I'm not going to comment on that. But I prefer Linux because it is a faster compared to Windows based on my experience. So when you keep your environment on Linux, it is easy to manage. So much of a less, commands to UI. So this is from the developer point of view. But from the performance point of view, I never experienced any difference actually. So
Okay, got it.
Right. We are done with the license manager configuration.
Yeah.
So any doubts on the configuration? I know you guys were discussing all the other parts.
you just gave us few minutes time. So
Yeah. Right.
out.
Okay, then let's proceed with the cluster configuration. So the second step is we are going to configure the indexer cluster. So here we have 3 indexer cluster. So I'm going to configure the replication factor as 3 and search factor as 2. Okay. Right. Let me connect to the cluster manager backend first of all. Click on connect. Let's copy the SSH command. I'm opening my command prompt. So I have the PIM file in my downloads folder. So I'm going to paste the command to the cluster manager. I'm connecting to it. Yeah. So I'm connected to my cluster manager, right? So now I'm going to switch to the Splunk user and then caps lock is on. Right. So now we have to navigate to our bin directory. And from there, we are going to execute the cluster configuration command. So this is the command. So in this, I'm going to change the replication factor, search factor, and we have to give a secret key, okay, to establish the connection between this cluster. And then we are going to give a cluster name. That's it. This is the configuration. So I already have it here. So you can see the replication factor. So this is the mode manager. We are configuring this as a cluster manager, right? So the server. So I'm giving the mode as a manager and replication factor as 3 and search factor 2. And I'm just giving some secret key and then cluster 1. So this is the secret key we are going to use to connect the other, the peers to this cluster manager. Okay. So let's copy this command and let's run it.
Hope this is not your production key, Ramani.
No,
Admin
definitely
wanted-
no.
Admin 123 is iconic one. So everyone is using.
Just for demo.
Yeah.
The server won't last 2 hours, so don't worry.
No, I'm just like in general, like people use admin 123 for
True.
many places.
So we are restarting the Splunk finally. Right. In the meantime, I'll also connect to my indexes backend. So let's open the command prompt. So here I'm going to the downloads folder again. I'm going to copy my indexer1 connection string.
And in this demo, we are showing how to set up everything from the CLI. So the cluster indexer cluster can be set up from the UA as well, and it can be set up from the configuration file as well. But this is one of the fastest and easiest way. So that's why he's like, I want to show you. So front end, yeah, you can click. It will be very easy. But back end is more reliable one, as you have.
Right. So here we are going to configure this indexer1 as a peer. So the mode is going to be peer mode, and then we are going to give our cluster manager IP along with the port management port, and then the replication factor. This is the default port, and then we are going to give the secret key, whatever which we created in our cluster manager, right? So this is the command. So let's do that. Let me open my notepad. So here I'm going to change the cluster manager IP here. So you can take your public IP, but I'm going for my private IP as everything is in the same region. I don't have the elastic IP configured here, so that is one of the reason why I'm going for this one, private IP. So I'm changing the cluster manager private IP here. And then I have given the management port, application port, we are going to keep it as it is. And yeah, the secret key is going to be admin123. That's it. Let's run this command in our indexer.
Just to highlight, like, please use the DNS here. Like, we are using a private IP just for a demo, but in your companies, use FQDN. I mean, so that even if the server goes down, you can attach something else. So please use DNS over there.
Okay. Right. Let it restart. Okay, it is done. So we can check it in the cluster manager UI. Okay, I'm confused which was the cluster manager. Okay. So how do we verify that indexer1 is connected to this instance? We can go to the indexer clustering dashboard in our cluster manager. You can go to the settings, indexer clustering dashboard in the cluster manager. Yeah, you see the indexer1 is connected. It is we have configured the replication factor as 3, right? We just connected one instance, so that's why all the warnings. So let's do the same configuration in the other indexes as well. Where is the indexer 2? I'm connecting to my indexer 2. Right. So here as well, same configuration, switching as Splunk user, and then I'm going to navigate to my Splunk bin directory. And from there, I'm going to run the same command. admin username and password. Yeah, now we have to restart the Splunk. Okay, let's connect to the indexer 3. Why does this keep changing? Okay, the same steps. Okay, now we can go to the cluster manager and we can refresh it and check. Let it restart. Still restarting, right? Yeah. Indexer 1 and indexer 2 is done. So that's all the configuration for the cluster, indexer cluster. So any doubts? Okay, thanks for the confirmation. Right. Yeah. So now we are going to configure the search it cluster. Let restarter. It is still restarting.
Yeah, the last one. It takes a while.
True. Okay. So here in the deployment, we are going to start configuring the search it cluster. The first step is to enable the deployer, right? In the deployer, we are going to give the password SIM key for the SH cluster, and using that password SIM key, we'll be connecting all the cluster members, right? Okay, it is done. Yeah, right. You see, everything has changed because all the servers are available. The replication factor is met and search factor is met. And there are some activities that is happening, bucket fixing activity. Let it happen. Right. So that's all for the indexer cluster configuration. Now let's move on to the search it cluster. So I have to connect to my deployer. So let me connect to the back end of my deployer. Sorry, backend. Yes. So we are connected to our deployer. So we have to make some changes. We have to give the configuration in the server.conf. So let's do that. We have to switch as a Splunk user. And then I have to navigate to the system local directory. So that is where we are going to give the configuration for the server.conf. Yeah. So in this, I'm going in the insert mode, and then at the end, I'm going to give the whatever it is available here. Okay. So I don't want to make any changes, or maybe let's keep admin 123. Yeah.
You're
No?
going to get hacked.
I hope no one does that.
Maybe someone.
Let's hope for the best. I trust the people here. Right. It is restarting. So let's wait for a few minutes. Yes, from the deployer side, it is done. Now we have to go to the search it cluster, and we are going to start configuring the each search it, right? So now let's connect to the search it. Yeah, it is restarted completely. Now we can connect to the search it. Yes. Now let's switch to the Splunk user. And then, right. We are going to the bin directory. These steps are almost similar like how we were doing for the search, indexer cluster. So here we are going to configure the search it cluster configuration, and I'm going to give the admin username and password for this server, and then I'm going to give the management URI, that is the cluster manager URI. Okay, sorry, not here. Sorry guys. So the management URI is nothing but the search it, whatever the search it where we are running this, the same one, and then the replication port is 9000, and replication factor we are going to keep it as 3, and then we are going to give the deployer IP. After that, the secret key for this whatever we configured in the deployer, and then yeah, label. That's it. Now let's change this. So here, let me change the password also. And then I'm going to copy the SH1 IP. Since everywhere I'm using the private IP, I'm going to take the private IP only. And then management component, replication port, replication factor, yeah, deployer IP. Okay, choose the correct one. Yeah. So I'm changing the deployer IP here. And yeah, admin 123 again. Yes. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to run this command in my search it one. Yes. Now we have to restart the Splunk server. Yes, it is restarted. So we are going to follow the same steps for the other two searches as well. The only thing what we have to do is we have to change the searched IPs here. Okay, we have to give whatever the searched wherever we are running, right, the same IP. Other than that, everything is similar. Okay, so I'll take the same configuration and then I'll paste it again. So this one is for search it 2. So let me take that. I'm taking the search it 2 IP and then I'm copy pasting it. And then search it 3 IP. I'm taking the private IP. I'm going to paste it here. Right. So yeah, let me run this in the search it 2. So am I connected to the search it 2? No, not yet. So let's connect to the search it 2 first of all. Yeah. I'm connecting to it. CD downloads. Yes. So now I'll switch to the Splunk user, and then I have to go to the bin directory. Splunk bin, and I'm going to execute this command. Yeah. So finally, we have to restart this. Okay. Let's do the same thing in the indexer 3 as, search at 3 as well. Let's copy the connection string of the search. Did I do connect? So here, let me navigate to the downloads folder, and I'm pasting the command. The tree started completely. Okay, still restarted. Okay. Sorry, I think I connected to the same instance again. Okay, just select. Right. So we are connected to the search tree. Now I'm going to switch to the Splunk user. Bin directory again. So now I'm going to paste this command. Did I copied it completely? Search it one. Yeah, okay. Right. So now let's restart the Splunk. Okay. So now our search cluster is almost ready. Now we have one last activity to do. We have to bootstrap the search cluster captain, right? We have to initialize one component as a captain first of all. So now let's do that as well. So let's take a search it one so that it's already restarted complete, right? Yes, so yeah. So we are already as a Splunk user, and we are already bin directory. So here we have to give the list of searches in the cluster. Okay, we have to give the IP of the list of searches. Now let me copy this and let's put it here. Right, we already have the IP here, right? So I'm going to copy the same one. Yes, and then your SH1 administrator password. Right. Okay, I think everything is good. Yeah. Now I'm going to copy paste this. Right. So now let me run this in the search it one. Okay, so not copied, sorry. Happened. Copied. Yes, it's copied. Okay. Sorry, guys. It got disconnected. I was checking, did I do any mistake or my mouse is not working? I was thinking everything.
It's tea time, Ramni.
Yeah. Now let me again go to the bin directory. Yes. Let's run this. Yes, it is successfully bootstrapped. So now we have to, we can check this cluster status using this show cluster. You can run it in any of the search heads. It's not mandatory. You just have to run it here. Let's try it and search it too. Okay, I think it will also be disconnected. So let's go with the search it one only. Yeah. You see, the captain, it is a search it one, and then we have the members search it 1, 2, 3. Okay.
So when whichever the server you are running this bootstrap command, that server becomes a captain. I mean, though we say dynamic captain for the first time, and whichever the searcher you are executing this one, right, it becomes a captain. I mean, if you want to understand how the captain election works, let me share one video. This is from the YouTube. So that video has a detailed explanation about how the search at captain election works. That is actually a really good one. I would suggest you to watch it. Share.
Okay. So shall we proceed, Murugan, or?
Yeah, please
Okay.
proceed.
Yeah.
I'll just share the link.
Okay. So that's all the configuration for the search it cluster. Any doubts from anyone on the configurations? Okay, I'll take the test.
Prashant says you're not audible. So,
Me?
I mean, I'm not sure like whether he's saying
Okay.
you or.
No, it's audible.
Okay. Maybe Prashant, I think network connection. Please confirm. Thanks.
Okay.
Please continue.
Yeah, right. Okay then. So the next part is we are going to configure the forwarders. Basically, we are going to connect the forwarders to our deployment server, okay, using the deploy pull command. So now let's connect to the backend of my both forwarders. I have two intermediate forwarders here, a heavy forwarder. I'm connecting to my intermediate forwarder 1. Yes, I'm connected to my intermediate forwarder. Now I'm switching to the Splunk user. I'll also connect to my intermediate forwarder 2 as well. I'll switch to the Splunk user. Okay, we are connected to both the intermediate forwarders. Now I'm going to execute the command. The command is it's deploy pull. So take that command. So this is the command, guys. So we are going to run this command from the bin directory. So it is basically we are going to configure this forwarders as a clients to your deployment server. Okay. It is already copied. So we have to give the deployment server IP here. Let me take the IP. You can just give the IP, no need of the HTTPS or anything. You can just give the IP directly. Now we can proceed. Okay, here I should go to my bin directory, and from there I have to execute the command. I have to give the admin username and password. Yes. Now we'll do the same thing. We have to restart actually. So the same command, we are going to give the same command here. Okay, let's restart.
How many times you have done this from me?
I don't.
You don't remember.
That to forward it to deployment connection, I have did it a lot of time.
Actually, in a real-time environment, you might delegate that to another Linux team or infra team because they will have Ansible, those automation scripts. Yeah.
Okay. It is still deploying. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, then that's all the connection for the deployment server to the forwarder. We have configured the forwarders. Now, the next step is monitoring console. Okay, we have to configure the monitoring console. Again, it is going to take some time. So we have to create the service credentials in all the servers, and using that service credential, we are going to connect it to your monitoring console, and from there you will be able to access all the components data, right? You will be able to monitor it. So now the first step is I'm going to create the service credential in all the servers, and then I'm going to link all the servers to my monitoring console. So here I have the management server, which is going to act as a license server as well as the monitoring console. Right. So here you can go to settings, and then you can go to users. Right. So here by default, whatever we created as an administrator username and password, it will be visible here. But now we are going to create a new one. Let's click on new user, and then I'll give the name as service admin.
So this is actually a suggested way. So
Yeah.
rather than don't use the default admin credentials for your connections, create a service admin credentials.
Okay. Admin under 3 doesn't work here.
It became smart. Right?
Yeah. Second. No, wait. I gave something. Okay, let's leave the time zone for the server time zone. Let's not worry about it now. Default app, I'll leave it as it is. So we need the admin access for it, admin role. So we have to select that. And then I'm not going to create a, yeah, I'll also uncheck this box. I don't want to change the password as it's going to be a service admin. So yes, I have to acknowledge this because yeah, this system. Let's create it. Right. A service admin is created. Similarly, we have to create it in all the servers. So in the monitoring console, once the access is created, right, you can connect to it. Let me show you this. You see, we have to go to the, sorry, not here. Yeah, distributed search. We are going to configure this as a search peer to your monitoring console. Okay, whatever the credentials we have created, right? Using that, we'll be configuring it. So here, settings, distributed search. This is the monitoring console. Here, I'm going to click on the search peer. I'm going to add that indexer1 as a search peer here. So this is the format, HTTPS and indexer1 and then your management port. I'll show you once so that you will be aware of the steps and then I'll do the repetitive activity. Indexer1. I'm copying the IP here and I'll paste it. Yeah, so this is the IP. So we have to give the username and password. Okay, sorry, this is service admin. You see, it got detected already. So it is connected and it is healthy, right? So this is the procedure. You have to create the service admin credentials, service credentials in all the servers, and you have to link it to your monitoring console. Okay. So now let's do that.
I have one doubt here for this
Yes,
monitoring console.
Yes, please.
Can't we use a searched as a monitoring console? Why we are using this as a separate instance?
Exactly. You can use it. So it is possible, but technically it is possible, but it's not suggested because monitoring console has its own set of searches, its own set of alerts which are running. So you don't want in your production environment, you don't want your search it to be loaded with internal monitoring things because the monitoring console is completely for admin specific use, right? And search it is for external people. I mean the critical people. So you don't want to mix up the monitoring with the production service. That's the reason. But technically it is possible, but management side, it's not suggested.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Here, I have a doubt here.
Yes, please.
So here, so all the servers means like all the components like searched, indexed, deployments, and everything you are going to connect it to this?
yes.
To the monitoring console.
All the components, okay.
All the components, yeah. So that's the point of monitoring, having a monitoring console. Monitoring console will give a holistic view across your deployment. So that's why you are connecting everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Quick question here, Morgan. Like, can you put more light on the use case of why you are using service admin user, not the admin user?
Yeah. So it's not only in Splunk, right? So in general, whenever you install any software or any application, you have a root credentials, right? You don't want to share the root credentials anywhere, right? You don't want that root credential to be shared with anybody or something. And the second point is you want to have a track whenever there is a communication happens, right? This root admin, the admin one, what you have, you might be used by you, and the another credentials might be used by the components which are interacting each other. So tomorrow, if you want to understand which user is being used most, if you have two different credentials, you can distinguish the activity happened and the load it took. So it is easy for you to differentiate which a user consumed more resources. So this is the best way you can differentiate. But if you use the same credentials, you cannot understand which activity consumed a lot of resources, or if you want to restrict some permissions, if you want to granularize, right? So having a separate user will help you, but having a single user will help you, will not help you in managing and maintaining many things actually.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Murugan, I have a quick question here.
Yes,
So if you see here, right, we have a banner called cluster manager, right? On every component, we have a
Yeah.
indication that like this is SH1, SH2. How can we keep that one?
Yeah, Ramani will show
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah, okay. After this.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 minute. I'll just complete this user creation and I'll show you.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. So to create the global banner, right, you can go to settings and you can go to the server settings. And here you see the option called global banner. You can click on this. And then you have to turn on this banner visibility to on, and then you can select any of your color and you can give your whatever the component name, and you can click on save. That's it. This is the procedure.
Okay, so for this we have to go to every component and we need to enable
Yes.
and we need to type, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. Right. So for the cluster manager, it is done.
Only on the search heads, like if you do it in one search head, it will be reflecting in all the other search heads as well. But remaining components, you have to do it individually. But in the search heads, whatever you keep it in one set, it will be same throughout the cluster.
If we keep SH1 in the searched one, you go to the SH2, so that will be SH1 or SH2?
It will be SH1. You see here, I'm in the SH1, right?
Yeah.
This is SH2, this is SH3.
Yeah.
But see, for everywhere we have the SH1 only.
Okay.
Actually, banner is meant for displaying some messages. Actually, we are using it to rename the things, but yeah.
Yeah. This looks gives some identification, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For all the remaining components you can keep, but only in the search it because it's a customer facing, right? So there you cannot keep like. Yeah.
The component here. Okay, if it's not required. If two is not required.
Yeah, attendees count came from 47 to 28. I think people are bored.
Yeah, this is actually boring.
Yeah.
Even I feel the same thing.
Exactly.
no, this is not boring.
I mean, for people who already done it actually, but for
Yeah.
people who are doing it, yeah, for the first time it is.
Yes. Okay. So we have created the user for all the components. So now let's go to the management server and let's start linking it one by one. So what we need now is we need the IPs of all the servers.
Can you please mute yourself? Where is that? Suresh, can you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Okay. Indexer 2 is connected. Now let's connect the indexer 3 as well.
So if you get the project, you will do it in 2 hours, Ramani.
No. This is not the production rate.
But you are completing the setup in 2 hours. I mean, not even 2 hours, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 50 seconds. But yeah.
That is different.
But yeah, this is only configuration. But yeah,
Yeah.
there is a big part in like
Yeah.
creating servers and pre-validation, post-validation, a lot of things.
Configuration part, it's always simple.
Mhm.
Only the other things are headache.
Exactly. And especially like when you do this in your company, like the moment you finish your setup, Splunk will release a new version and your company will ask you to either upgrade or do everything from the scratch.
Yeah.
It happened for me, like in 2 projects.
And yes, one more thing. So, guys, when we were creating the user here, right? If you create in the one searcher, it will get replicated. The configuration will get replicated. But when you're adding it to your monitoring console, you have to add it for all the 3 components. Okay, using the same credentials. Then only it will get connected. If you're connecting only using a SH1 IP, then only SH1 will be monitored. Okay, that one, please make sure of it. And then let's connect the SH3 as well. So these are connected. Now what is the next one? Deployment server, cluster manager deployment.
And you can do this using a CLI as well, but when it comes to the monitoring console, you don't worry. You can configure everything from UI so that you can see a track actually.
This one, I would suggest you guys to do it front end so that you can visually see the output, and you don't have to break your head if any IP got changed. Okay, deployer, cluster manager. Did we leave any other component? Did we completed it? Let's check the documentation once. So we have connected indexer 1, 2, 3, deployer, search run. Okay, yeah. License manager is nothing but the same one, so we don't have to worry. Yeah, right, guys. So we have connected all the required components here. Now the next step. So we have connected this, but we have to assign for monitoring console. Everything is a search pair, right? So we have to assign the server role for it so that it will monitor according to its role. Okay. So now to do that, we have to go to the general setup, monitoring console, settings, general setup. Now let's go to that. Settings, monitoring console. Here, settings, general setup. Yeah. So now this is running on the standalone. So we have to change it to a distributor. Whatever is connected, it is listed here. Now we have to assign the proper server roles for it. Now let's do that. So you can refer the server roles here. I have given a detail. I have attached the screenshot as well. So you can see for the cluster manager, we can give the cluster manager, indexer. For search it, we have to give the KV store and search it. Deployer, it's direct deployer. License manager, deployment server, deployment. Actually, whatever the role is, right? So now let's do that. And my question is, so the management server, what are the server roles we have to select there? Can anyone give me the answer?
For which one?
For the management server.
Management server, we need to go only for search it and license manager because you have a license manager.
Yes, you listened. Okay.
Yeah. You need to keep. Okay, this is management server, right?
This is management server.
Okay. You edited for cluster manager.
Yeah, I'm editing below. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to change the server roles, you can click on that particular one and you can go to the edit at the end, click on edit server roles, and then you can select the deploy, whatever the role is, right?
Raman, these server roles are predefined.
Yes, it is predefined. That's correct.
Okay.
You just need to map it with the correct component.
Yeah. So these are the available server roles actually within the Splunk, right? These are the available server roles. So I'm selecting only deployment
Please
server.
don't confuse this with the access user roles. User roles are different. This is component roles. So
yeah,
these roles will not be available in that user roles.
Right. For the search hits, I'm selecting everything and I'm editing the selected instances for collectively, right? I'll click on search it and then KV store. Click on save. Done. Okay. For the search hits, it has changed. Similarly for the indexes as well. I'll select all the 3 indexes and I'll click on the edit selected instances, set server role. And here I will just select the indexer. Yes, we are good. So that's all from for the components here below. So this one, we have to edit the management server as well. Let's edit that. So this is acting as a license manager and then search it. The monitoring console is nothing but a search it. Here we don't need the KV store. and let's remove the indexer as well. It is
You are
acting as
not audible.
Am I not audible?
You're audible. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please check your internet connection? I think it might be.
Right. Okay. Right. So now here we are selecting only the searcher and the license manager. I'm going to click on save. So now the server roles are correctly assigned. Now we can click on apply changes. Now here you see we have 3 indexes in our environment, and we have 4 searches, 1 cluster manager, 1 license manager, and then we have 1 deployment server. Okay, this 4 searches is because this server is also acting as a searcher, right? So that's the reason it has taken 4 as count. Is the monitoring console configuration clear?
Ramani ma'am, you are not audible.
Jyoti, can you please check your internet connection? The others are able to hear me, or else can you join back again?
Yeah, maybe drop off and join back again. That should fix here.
Is it only me who is not audible?
No, you are perfectly audible to us. Just
Okay.
quick question here. Does deployer also visible here in the overview?
It is not here actually, not in the dashboard. It doesn't do like it is not the primary component, right? So it won't be usable here.
Noted.
I know it is strange. Right. Okay.
Deployer doesn't manage anything. It just like provides the configuration and access. So that's the reason it's not there. This is my opinion. So, but it's a good question. We should ask a Splunk team why it is not visible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Jyoti, Murugan, can you assist? Okay, Nishal is already answering. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, we have only one configuration here in the monitoring console. That is, we have configured every component here, right? We missed one thing. What was it? Did anyone noted it? No?
We didn't got time at least to know that. So.
Sorry? Sorry, I didn't get it completely. It was breaking.
We haven't picked up that the structured clustering and indexing clustering.
We have configured that one, right? In the monitoring console. I mean, we have connected the clusters here, all the indexers, search it, and all the management components here. We missed only one part. What was it?
Yeah, he said like we did not connect.
Murugan, you are not audible. So.
Me? Am I not audible?
I think Murugan is audible. Yeah.
Okay. So I think for
I
few
can
people
hear
it
you.
is
Yeah.
Not audible.
Yeah. Okay. So for few people it's breaking, I guess. Oh, who's that? We have a junior. Okay. So just in short, like he was saying, like search at cluster, index at cluster connectivity.
Right. We'll be connecting. That is the next step. Yeah. We'll be connecting all the tiers, whatever is available, right? We'll be doing that. So the component which we missed to configure here is forwarder, right? We didn't created the user in the forwarder. We missed that, right? We didn't miss it because there is another way to connect the forwarder. We have to actually enable the forwarder monitoring setup here. I also have the steps here. You can check it out. Here in the same settings, in the monitoring console settings, right? Instead of general setup, we have to go to the forwarder monitoring setup. And we have to enable this. And this data collection interval, you can give like as however you want. Minimum, it will take 15 minutes and it actually goes up to 30 minutes since our resources are very low here. I'm just using the 2 CPU core. So I'll leave it as a default and then I'll save it.
So in forwarded also we need to create any user like service admin have created, right?
No, we don't need to create it for the forwarders. Here we can directly enable the forwarder monitoring here.
Because forwarders you cannot control. Like sometimes you'll be adding, you'll be removing. So forwarders keep on will be changing or coming going. So for that, like Splunk has this setup. So using which you can monitor the forwarder. You don't need to create admin credentials and all.
Will it get a list of the forwarder from the deployment server?
No. This will get the list of forwarders from the indexers. The indexers where the data is forwarders forward the internal data, right? That one. And I think deployments are also. I'm not sure about the query, but this gets the data from the logs. Maybe I'll check and I'll tell you which logs it is getting the data from. There is a query actually in this monitoring console, so we can see that. I'll check and I'll let you know. But it gets the details dynamically. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
Right. So that's all the configuration from the monitoring console. We have connected all the components, right? So we'll be able to monitor everything once we connected all the tires, right? So now let's go to the next step. That is connecting the searcher cluster with the indexer cluster, right? So this one, it is just one command which will be running in all the searches, right? So now let's go to the search sheet. Which one was the search sheet? Okay, this is the search sheet. So this is the same command. This is to edit your cluster configuration. Okay, here we are adding all these searches in the search it mode to your cluster manager. Here you have to give your cluster manager IP. Okay, the mode is going to be search it, and then the IP whatever we are going to give is cluster manager, and we are going to give our indexer cluster secret key because we are adding a component to that indexer cluster, right? We have to give the secret key. Okay, so now let's construct this. Right, let it connect. Now let's build this component. So yeah, the mode is searched, and we have to take the cluster manager's IP. So let me take that. So this is the cluster manager. Okay, what is that? I'm taking the cluster manager's IP here, and then I'm going to paste it over here. Secret key. Yes, it is not secret anymore. Admin 123. Okay, we are going to run this in all the searches. Okay. So we have to run this in the OPT Splunk bin as a Splunk user. So let me switch the user. So here I'm going to paste that one, and just 1 second, guys. I'm double checking the value. Yes, it is correct. Yes. Here we have to restart the Splunk and our search it. So the same steps, we are going to run the same command in the other two as well. We don't even have to change anything because it is going to be the same cluster manager. So let's use that. So here I'll switch to the Splunk user, and then I'm into my bin directory, and I'm executing the same command here. Entering my admin username and password. Yes, we have to restart it. Is it restarted? Let it complete. Similarly, in the search it 3 as well, I'm going to run the same command. Let's restart this one first of all. It is restarted. Let's restart this one. I'm not doing it at a time because everything is connected, right? So let's wait for one component to complete restarting and then let's go for the other component. Is it fully up? Not yet.
So distributed search setup is only done for the monitoring console, right?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question?
This distributed search setup, which we did, like adding all the servers and
Yeah.
renaming the server also is done for the monitoring console, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I have one question. Do we need to enable any setup to act the server as monitoring console?
No, only this one. Like whatever we did it right. We connected all the components, and then we when we were going on a the setup, the general setup, this mode you just need to change it as a distributed. That's it. Apart from that, there is no special configurations. Whatever we did it in this video, it's enough.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, in the cluster manager, I'm going to the indexer clustering dashboard again because we connected to the cluster manager, right? Through that only it will get connected. So you see the searched 1 and searched 2 is already connected with our indexer cluster. Okay, the searched 3, once it is up, it will be connected. So that's all the connection between the searched cluster and the indexer cluster. Any doubts for anyone? No? Okay, good. This is taking a little time. And final step, what we have to do is we have to, so all the setup is done. If you see, we have completed the connection between the management components, and then we have configured both the clusters. What is the next step?
Go home.
Pushing the data from forwarder.
Sorry?
Pushing the data from forwarder.
Yes, yes. Before pushing the data, so we have to establish the connection from between the forwarder and the indexer cluster, right? So we are going to see how to do that. We are going to do that through the indexer discovery method. But yeah, what you said is right. Forwarder configuration of that. We are going to connect the forwarding tier with the indexing tier. Okay, let me show you the configuration in the meantime. Yes. So here, right, to push this configuration, like to give the configuration between your forwarders to the indexer cluster, we are going to do it through our deployment server. Okay. We have to enable the indexer in the receiving port in the indexers, and then we are enabling the indexer discovery. So do you guys have idea about indexer discovery?
No, Raman, I think that would be appreciated if you explain few points.
Okay, great. Yeah. So indexer discovery is done by actually your cluster manager. Your cluster manager will provide the list of available indexes details to your forwarders so that the forwarders can send the data to your indexes which is currently available, right? That is like a 1 or 2 lines version. Is it understandable whatever I said?
If not, you can repeat the same thing if you want.
Yeah.
In a real time like environment, like let's say now we have 3 indexes, right, which are static. You know the 3 indexes. But let's say tomorrow you're going to add another indexer or 2 more indexes, or you're going to replace any one of the indexer. So each indexer IP address might change it, right? Or if you add additional indexers, every time you need to go and update your forwarder configurations. So the management side, it is a headache if you don't have an indexer discovery. So what indexer discovery does is it makes forwarder to reach out to the cluster manager and get the dynamic list of indexers that are available at this particular time. So forwarder will always get the latest list of indexers that are available at this point of time. So this information will be dynamically passed from the cluster manager. This is what indexer discovery. So cluster manager will give the list based on the indexer's load. If any one of the indexer is heavily loaded, cluster manager will not give that information to forwarder. So in this way, universal forwarder is making sure that it is sending data to only available indexer, which is not having that much load. So indexer discovery is a dynamic process of getting the list of indexers from the forwarder side.
Thanks, Murugan. Rightly explained. Thank you for that. I have an add-on question to that. Like usually, once you have in production live environment, you have thousands of universal forwarders coming.
Yeah.
So you could be having intermittent heavy forwarders. Like,
exactly.
So in that case, you have 2 to 3 heavy forwarders, which are where you are getting directly logs from the universal forwarder. So in that case, indexer discovery will be enabled only on those 3 heavy forwarders, right?
That's right. Indexer discovery will be enabled only on those 3 intermediate heavy forwarder. Other universal forwarder will send the data to any one of the intermediate forwarder. That's right.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Shall we proceed? The searcher is taking a lot of time. I don't know what happened to that. So let's proceed with the next one, the forwarder configuration, right? Am I audible? Okay.
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. The videos froze, so I thought. Right. So now the first step, what we are going to do is we have to enable the receiving port, that is 9997 in all our indexes, so that the forwarders can send the data to your data through the data port. Okay. So I'm in my indexer. Now I'm going to go to the settings and then click on forwarding and receiving. And from there, you can click on configure receiving. Click on new receiving port. Here, you can enter your port. Okay. Port number 9997. And I'm saving it. Similarly, you have to enable this port in the other 2 indexes as well. So let's do that. Right. So from the indexer side, our configuration is done. So indexer is ready to receive the data. Okay. Or internal logs, anything. So indexer is ready for receiving. So now we have to connect our forwarders. We have to configure our forwarders to send the data to this indexer cluster. So to do that, we are going to do it through the deployment server. Okay. So let me take the configurations. Let me go walk you through it once. So what we are going to do is we are going to create an okay, sorry, where are we? Yeah. So we have to enable this indexer discovery in our cluster manager, right? Like Murugan said, the cluster manager is the one which is going to send the details to the other forwarders. Okay. So we have to instruct the cluster manager to send the data, to send the list of available indexes. So for that, we have to give this configuration to enable that indexer discovery. Then we should configure the other steps. Okay. In the deployment server, we are going to create an app with the indexer discovery configuration, and then we are going to push it to our deployment clients, that is to the forwarders. Okay. So let's start the configuration. Now let me go to the cluster manager. Okay. Successfully. Finally, our search at 3 is done. Let me once again check in my indexer cluster. Yeah, so all the searches are connected to our cluster manager successfully. So now both the tiers are completely connected, right? So now let's go to the backend of our cluster manager. That was the first one which we connected, right? It is not getting connected. Let me open it again. Yeah, we are connected to the cluster manager. Now I'm going to switch to the Splunk user. Okay. Yeah. So now we are going to do the system local. From there, we are going to edit our server.conf. So I'm at the bottom in the shift mode. What happened? Yeah. So here I'm going to paste the configuration here. This is to enable our indexer discovery. You see here we have to give an indexer discovery key. It can be anything. Okay. But make sure you're keeping a note of it.
And if you give it wrong, you will never find it. It won't say it is wrong, but it will take it and it will throw unnecessary issues.
You see, it will get encrypted like this, and then it won't give the direct issue that this is the problem, the direct log. Okay, it will be a headache.
And then sometimes, like if you see the latency issue, all those things, right? One of the root cause might be the indexer discovery is not having a proper password SIM key, and maybe it is expired or maybe it is rotated in another location. So when you have any issue with latency issues and all those things, blood queues, right? Just check once if the keys are matching, password SIM keys are matching before you go and troubleshoot anything. Because it helped us in many places. So
It's not only for the deployer configuration as well. There we will give some SH cluster key, right? That same thing will happen when it will take the whatever the value we are giving, but at the end when it is trying to connect the searches to the deployer, it won't connect. System issue. Always your value keys especially, right? So
there
we
will
have
be
given
$1 billion question: who might change it? So.
Yeah. You see the value whatever we gave, it got encrypted, right? In the cluster manager. So the cluster manager configuration is ready. Now we have to connect to the deployer's backend, and we are going to create an app with the indexer discovery configuration to our forwarders. Okay, so we are within our deployment server. So here, whatever the app which you want to deploy to your forwarders, you have to put it in your deployment apps. So I'm going to navigate within that, and I'm going to create an app with this name, org general infra config. Okay, you can give any name, whatever you want, but just keep it meaningful and use some naming convention. And then I'm going to navigate within that app. So here, as this is a new app, it won't have any folder. So I'm going to create a local folder, and within that local folder, I'm going to create the configuration file. So it doesn't have anything. So now let's create the outputs.conf. So within that outputs.conf, we are going to give our indexer discovery configuration, right? So let me copy this. So here, what are the things we have to change? We have to change our indexer discovery key. And then we have to give our cluster manager IP, right? Let me take that. So since we are going to receive the details from the cluster manager, that is the reason we are giving the cluster manager IP there.
Ramani, can you explain that attribute index discovery is called manager one?
This one?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So the TCP out is the configuration where the forwarder is going to send your data, right? So now we are not giving explicitly any indexer details, right? So for that, we are telling the forwarders that we are using an indexer discovery, and you can find the indexer discovery configuration here. Indexer discovery is equal to, indexer discovery : manager. And what is the manager? Our cluster manager, right? It is basic. What we are telling is actually the indexer discovery configuration is being used. You can collect the list from this cluster manager. That is what we are giving, so that our forwarders will get the list from the cluster manager, and it will be sending the data to the available indexer.
Assume like in outputs.conf, we might be giving manually, right, that indexers.
Yes, yes.
So in this case, if any new indexer is added, how this new indexer will get uh, uh, this will get added in that outputs.conf file?
Yes, that is the problem. This indexer. So if you are giving manually, you have to come to your forwarder again, and in the outputs.conf, you have to add that new indexers details, right? But if you configure this indexer discovery, your cluster manager will have the new list of indexes as well. So it can give the available indexer, that new indexes configuration, what do you say, IP address here as well. And the forwarders can send to the new indexer as well.
Okay, this new IP will get automatically added in that outputs.conf on all the forwarders?
During the runtime. During the runtime,
runtime.
forwarders will get the dynamic list of the indexes from the cluster manager automatically.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Right. So we have changed the necessary configurations, whatever we want. And now I'm going to save this. Sorry. Right. Our configuration is ready. Basically our app is ready with the indexer discovery configuration. Now we can deploy it to our deployment clients through the deployment server. Okay. Let me connect to the front end of my deployment server. Yeah. So from here, we should go to the forwarder management, settings, forwarder management. Yeah. So both the forwarders, whatever we connected, it is visible here, right? And we have one configuration, whatever we created in the backend, the org general infra config, right? So since we have connected it in the deployment apps, right? It is automatically populated here. Now we have to deploy this app to both our forwarders. To do that, please go to the groups and server classes. We are going to create a new server class to map the configuration with both the forwarders. So let me create that one. I'm just giving IF class. So whatever the forwarders, whatever the agents that is going to be added, we are going to configure this. So let's give a general name, and I'm going to save it. So within this, I have to select the app, and I have to map the agents here. In the agents, I'm going to click on edit agent assignment. Yeah. So here I'm going to select both the forwarders. You can click on preview, and you can make sure both these are ticked. This means both are selected. Okay. And then we can click on save. Agents are assigned. Okay. Now we have to assign the configuration to it. Okay. Click on edit configuration. And let's click on the app, whatever we want. And then let's click on save. And one more thing, what you have to notice, this is an app with the outputs.conf configuration, right? So we have to restart the forwarders once this app is deployed. Okay, so to do that, we have to click on this restart agent button. So we have to enable this, and yes, that's it. You see the last configuration update. It happened a few seconds for one server, and the other server, it is still deploying. So this is how we have to deploy this config any app to any agents, right? It's not just this one. So it is successfully deployed in one agent. The other agent, I think it is still deploying. Yeah, let's see, it's done. Yes. So now the configuration, how is
Your voice is getting truncated.
Your voice is breaking, Ramani.
okay? Is it still
Yes. Yes. Yes.
okay? Okay.
I think we are crossing the 2 hours mark.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Maybe can you try switching your network or something?
Okay.
I think now it is clear, I believe. So,
Is it okay now?
yeah, it is okay. Please. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So yeah. So how do we check the configuration that whatever we have given? Validation, right? So we can validate it in the intermediate forwarders. You see this one is still coming up. You can check in the UI as well if the org general config app is available. So yeah, it is deployed successfully, right? And you can check it in the search it, okay, using the stats count command or tstats. See what are the internal logs we are getting, right? Yeah. Okay. What are these three? Right. Okay. So you see, that was the name. It was assigned before that, the internal logs, right? Let's filter it for last 15 minutes. Yeah. This is right. It has logs. It is collecting from the indexes, and it is also getting the logs from the intermediate forwarder, right? So, hello.
Your voice is breaking. Can you come again? The last one.
Yes. So what I was telling is, we got the internal logs of the indexes and the intermediate forwarder, and it has its own internal logs, the search head one logs. Is it still breaking?
Yes. No. It is not breaking.
Okay. Yes. So now, so this makes, this confirms that all the tires are connected, right? Because we are getting the intermediate forwarder logs in the search it. So is this clear? Whatever the configuration we have did so far?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So finally, we have one step. I think you guys can do it yourself because it is the same configuration. We have to enable the indexer discovery in all the components. Okay. Basically, we should forward the internal logs to your indexes. That is a best practice that is suggested by the Splunk to follow. Okay. So we have to give the indexer discovery configuration, that org general infra config, right? That app should be created in um, all the servers, and you should be forwarding the internal logs of all the components to your indexes. Once you configure the steps, right? Once you configure the indexer discovery in all the components, then you will be able to see all the components here. Everything will be sending the internal logs to your indexer cluster. It is populated as well. right? So the configuration, it is time, it's already lagging. So that's the reason I'm not doing the indexer discovery configuration. You can follow the steps here, right? You can enable the searched cluster indexer discovery in the searched cluster through the deployer, the same steps. We are going to create the same org infra config app, and within that we are going to put the same configuration, whatever we put in the deployment apps, the same one, and then we'll be applying that bundle. And then finally, we'll be enabling the indexer discovery in the cluster manager and in the deployer license manager monitoring console in all the components. So Murugan, do you want me to do it, or is it breaking?
No, it's not breaking. So I think it
Okay.
will take more time, but if people are not able to do it, we can do it in the next webinar as well.
Okay,
As it's
okay,
already
right.
people like, please try it out. Whatever we have seen, like you can try implementing on your lab environment as well. And do let us know if you want us to continue in the free next session as well. If it is not working, we can also give you the recording as well. So for only for the indexer discovery. So whatever it is, please do let us know. We can do like that. Okay. Anybody wants to ask any questions? Okay.
Okay, it started breaking for me.
Okay. Okay. Any feedback about this session? Anybody wants to say positive, negative, or any improvement suggestions? Anything?
Yeah, you guys can scold me because I made if it was boring.
No, this is a great session actually. So which you have completed a 10 hours movie in a 1 hour. That was great because at
Okay.
least we got some knowledge like how the components are got connected, how the data is flowing to all the components. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
it was a great session, Morgan, and
Thank you.
very
Thank
useful
you.
for everyone. Also, like, how we will get this recording session?
Yeah, it will be uploaded in our YouTube channel. So you can just go to YouTube, search Soft Mania, you will get that one. We will upload it and we'll publish it in all the WhatsApp groups. So that's not a problem. So it will be
And
made public. Yeah.
document that which you are showing right now, right? That would be great if you
Yes.
share to
Yes.
us.
Yeah, it's already there.
We already shared.
We will put everything in the WhatsApp groups. So you note down like our WhatsApp groups. So you are there in the WhatsApp group, right? We will circulate.
Yes.
So how often you are giving this webinar session? Like,
that is based on all of your inputs, because we got a lot of inputs for this session and we got it. So if you people are giving us a topics, and if we see same topics requested by many people, then we will put it. So there is no fixed schedule. So whenever we get a lot of suggestions, we go for it.
Okay. How about like we have like ITSI or security, enterprise security, those things?
No, premiums we don't do it because we don't have a license for it, so we don't do it.
Okay.
Any Splunk enterprise core platform, admin and data onboarding, troubleshooting, these things, if you guys request, we can do it actually.
Okay,
you can create one form, maybe one form, like at least just mention like the webinars which we want to know, and like maybe you can create one form and share it in the WhatsApp group so that we can fill what the webinars we need.
For sure. We will create one and we'll circulate it. That's a great idea.
Yeah, Morgan. So I would ask, like, so even if it is for the payment, also, like, do we have any sessions?
Okay, so we have few sessions planned, but that is for the end-to-end ones. But if you expect something like, because everybody wants different things, right? If you want like, okay, you tell me like what sessions you want, because we operate on a customization model. So we go with the individual people. So you tell me like, because we cannot say Splunk end-to-end. No, there is no such course. Yeah, maybe if you say, no, I want to learn Splunk upgrade. So only that part. Then if we get 5 to 6 people, like we can put together and we can create a payment things. But that works in a different way. So yeah, you can reach out to us. We will share our number as well. So you reach out to us and we will explain what are the other courses we have. Then we can.
Okay, so actually we are using the WhatsApp where we can't reach out to you, right? So
okay, let me share the WhatsApp number. So.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I think you guys must be using the older number. So, like that was, I mean, I missed to recharge that number, so it is gone. So I put it in the chat. Actually, are you able to access? the number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's a WhatsApp. There you can just ping hi. Any one of our team members will be responding to you. Then if you want to have a detailed discussion, we can have a discussion on that one. You can share your expectations, like you want a free webinar or paid sessions, whatever it is. You can share it to us, and based on the demand, we can conduct it as a free or paid, whatever it is. We can discuss.
Thanks, Murugan.
No problem. Yeah, thanks. Okay, okay. Now it is going in a marketing mode. Let's
Yeah.
come back to webinar feedback.
Yeah.
No, all the sessions cannot be given with the free, right? So
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sessions are that, of course, that even if you go with the market also, you won't get it.
Right. Yeah, that's true actually. And one of the other thing is also talk to you people. Like if anybody has any concerns or something, you can share. And we also got the feedback about lab servers, because everybody's asking lab servers, which cannot be free, because lab servers means we are also renting the servers and all. So we have created a platform where you can rent a lab server starting from 100 rupees. That is something based on your convenience. You can do it. So it's up to you, and it is hourly rental service. So I shared the link as well here. You can click and you can go and you can check what are the things available. So whatever we did it in 2 hours, right? That is already pre-installed available. You just pay for it and you use that many hours. So no hassle. But this is like based on your need. So we are not forcing. So that is also one of the things we have. But like this, we have other multiple offerings as well. And if you want to know, you can reach out to us over WhatsApp. We are happy to explain what are the things we have. And
Sure.
please do share this videos to other people. And if anyone wants any common concepts or any basic concepts to be explained, we're happy to conduct the free webinars as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Murugan.
Okay. Thanks everyone. Thanks a lot for your time. And I think it's 2
Okay,
hours.
Murugan, so Nishal was asking for part 2 on rejects. So
Okay.
we'll be launching it soon. Yeah, we are prepared. We are on the preparation. So sure, Nishal, we'll be posting it soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
Anything
then.
else?
Thank you,
Anybody?
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you, Murugan.
Bye.